Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric and a continuing series, Sega Racing Renaissance, where I take a look at every single 3D Sega arcade racing game ever released and review it in a retrospective fashion. And today we're taking a look at Sega Rally 3, made by Sega Racing Studio. And there's a companion to this game, Sega Rally Revo, but we can't review that on this series because it never got an arcade release, and those are the rules of this retrospective. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe, that notification bell definitely helps us out. If you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But obviously Sega Rally 3 is the third game in the Sega Rally franchise, and it is a really good game, but I'm going to say it right off the top. It is the weakest of the three games, just like Daytona 3 is the weakest of all of the Daytona games. Now this is definitely a lot better than Daytona 3, which was farmed off to an independent company. And I really do enjoy Sega Rally 3. It just kind of lacks a little bit of the charm and wildness of the first couple games in this series, but I will be showing you some footage of the original Sega Rally on Model 2 against this game later on in the video when I talk about one of the courses they remade. And if you've never played a Sega Rally game before, it's quite simple. Race around the track, don't hit the wall. But this isn't a pavement racing game all the time, it's a rallycross. So you're going to get different handling surfaces, and you're going to need to learn how your car drives, not just on pavement, but on sand, in mud, on snow, on slippery pavement. There's different handling and physics techniques that you need to employ depending on what surface you're on, and that's where all the fun in a Sega Rally game comes from. You got to learn the handling, and you got to learn how your car functions on different surfaces. I don't know if you've ever driven on sand before. It's a hell of a lot harder than it is on pavement. And you'll see there I finished 15th, but that doesn't really matter. It's impossible to finish first on the first race because now we're starting in 15th position on the next course. It's a rally, and just like the first two games, you maintain your progression from course to course, trying to get to first place by the end of the third course. And that is not an easy feat. You gotta learn everything about this game, because I thought you had to turn left here really quick, and I screwed that up. So let's rewind a little bit, go to a different lap, and you'll see me take that corner correctly. And this is just an example of learning the course, because I could have easily cut that out and hidden it. Every turn, you need to know the apex in, the apex out, and you need to know your gas, brake, and handbrake going in, because the difference between a perfect turn and a failed turn is so small, it is down to your inputs. But the nice thing is the physics handling is so good in this game that any mistakes you make are your own fault, and you can't say that the CPU cheated you. It is on you when you bump that wall, which is actually a good thing. I love it when I make a mistake and I know it's my fault. I hate it in a racing game when I make a mistake and I feel like I did everything perfectly. This game is going to give you feedback all the time in how you're driving. You're going to know that you need to do something different. And that's the most fun about this game, is it's a learning experience. It's like learning an instrument or any other thing. You gotta practice to get better. The more you practice, the more you see, the better you do, the better the outcome. Because right there, that was a perfect turn in. But you'll see here around this corner, I took it a little bit too fast, and I bumped that wall, and that totally screws me over. And that's why Sega Rally 3 is fun. The thing is about it is it just feels a little sterile. Yes, the different courses feel a lot of fun to play. All of the cars handle really well, but there's not a lot going on. In some ways, I want to describe it as plastic feeling. You know, something like Outrun 2 has things going on everywhere. Something like Daytona 2, even Daytona 3 have a lot of things going on the track. And this plays it straight for the graphical ability to make it look like it's the real world, and it does an excellent job of doing that, but nothing moves except your car, so it kind of lacks a little bit of that bluster and panache that Sega racing games are known for, but that's honestly a very small critique. Soundtrack's quite good, and the engine noises are excellent as well, so go ahead and listen to Sega Rally 3 in action for like 45 seconds, and trust me, don't hit the e-brake too hard, you'll spin it around. Be right back.
Easy right. Long medium left. Hurry up. Checkpoint. Medium left. Over jump. Long easy left. Major.
Decent soundtrack, excellent handling noises, but the music itself is nothing to write home about. It fits without being anything memorable. But going back to the snowy area, you see I bumped the wall there. your mistakes add up. If you have a bad first course, you're going to be in a lower place in the second course, and then you're going to have to fight even harder to catch up. You need to have 3 perfect races to actually finish first in this game. You can't have one decent one, one bad one, one amazing one. You'll end up in like 5th or 6th place. There's nothing you can do about that. So even though you're racing each individual course as a course, you're really racing them cumulatively to try to be able to see the ending of the game. And you'll see here, I'm just able to squeak past that finish line on idle, and I end up in 7th place. And that's not bad, but I wanted first, and that's the fun thing about the Sega Rally games. They require the utmost practice and precision to actually get that first place. So you keep racing the same 3 tracks over and over again, just trying to get a little better at them. But it also includes Classic Mode, which is a remake of the desert level from the original Sega Rally, and it gives you the same 2 cars. And of course we got to choose the Celica. That is the car that's so iconic to that original game. And this is, like I said, a 1-to-1 remake, and in a minute I will jump to the Model 2 footage to see just how far technology has come, because it's really fun to race a track that I probably played 100 times before between the arcades and the Sega Saturn be done in a more modern environment, because this runs on arcade hardware that's all PC based. That's why it's so easy to play it on Windows 10. And here's the thing when I talk about the tracks and how good or bad they are. The best track in this game is still a remake from the original game. The tracks are really good in Sega Rally 3, but they're not as good as Sega Rally 1 or 2. But again, leave me a comment down below, tell me I'm wrong, that usually happens, the algorithm loves it, please keep having at it. But it's just a ton of fun to see your childhood recreated in, at the time, modern technology. Obviously, things look even better today versus when this came out. But let's just go through this checkpoint right here. We'll take the first corner, and then we're going to jump directly over to the original Sega Rally now. It's the same course, but this is a more iconic look. This seems more stylized, and I enjoy it just that much more. But honestly, it's not a knock at Sega Rally 3. Sega just seems to have trouble with the number 3 when it comes to arcade racing games. Sega Rally 1 and 2, amazing. Sega Rally 3, really good. Daytona 1 and 2, epic. Daytona 3, kind of a little bit of a steaming pile of garbage. I'm going to be honest with you. Wait till we get to the review of that. It's really not one that I love anymore. But jumping back over to Sega Rally 3, it's just fun to see this game in action. And it's a fun game because you're not competing against anybody but yourself and learning the courses. It's not the type of game that you're really going to want to play multiplayer on. I mean, you can, but honestly to me, this is a practice makes perfect game. You get to keep running the same courses over and over again, trying to improve your lap times, trying to improve your standing, and when you do get first place in the entire rally, the sense of accomplishment is second to none, whether it's Sega Rally 1, 2, or 3. And in the cockpit mode, this game has a great sense of speed that I absolutely love. It's just everything's blurring by, those canyon walls are a blur in your eye. It looks incredible in motion. But if you've never played a Sega Rally game, or if it's been a long time since you played them, let me recommend this to you. Start with Sega Rally 3 and then pick 1 or 2 in whatever order you want. Because I would say the third game, while still really fun, is probably the weakest of the 3, but it's a good starting point, and then you can move on to what I would consider the better games, 1 and 2, and honestly, they're so interchangeably great, I wouldn't even be able to say whether I like Sega Rally 1 or Sega Rally 2 more. But yeah, Sega Rally 3, tons of fun, easy to run on Windows 10, maybe not the best Sega game of all time, and the studio that made this got shut down directly afterwards. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Enter your name. Course record.